Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank minority staff for sticking around for my question this time. Welcome. Nice to have you. And if you haven't checked my biography, I'm from Montana. I represent 147,000 square miles, and we wish we would be rural education, but we're not. 85% of my kids are either rural or frontier. I had lots of problems with the No Child Left Behind as well, but I always found the administration and the Secretary of Education to be fairly amenable to changes, flexibility. So if I could make some suggestions, moving to the grant program does not necessarily work for a state like Montana because we just don't have the economy of scale. There aren't grant writers in these schools. They're so small we especially see it in other areas like fire grants. There are other grant programs within federal government, and we've struggled. We've tried to do education programs to help them learn how to write grants. We've even offered in my office to help them write grants. To expect us to try and make up $12 million for our schools in Montana through grant writing is practically impossible. And I plead with you, don't move so quickly that direction. The second area is the race to the top. And once again, the four categories you've created are nice, but the difficulty is they don't really reflect our kind of schools. It's not that easy for us to get rid of a principal, fire half our teachers, restructure the way you've done it. I guess if you could give me some assurances of your desire or willingness to be flexible, and can you work with the Rural Education Caucus that we have here in Congress to address some of the lack of flexibility in the creation of the models in the first place?
Absolutely. I had a wonderful visit to Montana and learned a tremendous amount. It's a day that's going to stay with me.
Did you fly or drive around?
We flew in and we drove around.
Okay.
So got a good sense. Traveled with the governor and spent some time with the state school superintendent, and went to Northern Cheyenne country as well. And it was a fascinating day, and I got a lot from it.
And as you know, we did not. Our OPI did not compete for the grants, thinking that.
Yeah, and they can come in second round. To be clear, we're not looking for fancy grant proposals. We want to go where the need is, and we've been very, very clear about that. We're looking for folks who have a heart, who want to get dramatically better, who want to raise the bar for all children, close achievement gaps. And we're not interested in fancy grant proposals or consultants or anything like that. And so we just encourage everyone to put their best ideas forward, and please rest assured that we want to go where the greatest need is. In our proposals, I think you're talking about the turnaround schools. The transformation model doesn't require you to move staff out. We really wanted to be thoughtful there. We can continue to have the conversation and be flexible with that model's put in place as we thought about it to make sure in those rural communities with unique needs.
Can other models be added? You're not dead set on those four?
We can have that conversation. We had lots of conversations with rural superintendents about that model, and there was we didn't just sort of come up with these in a vacuum. There's a number of conversations there, and frankly, there's pretty good support. But if we miss something, I'm happy to continue those conversations.
That's probably the thing I hear most from them, from the school administrators, that it is not practical. It does not work. Maybe you're hearing from other areas of the country that it does, but my rural administrators.
Okay. We'll continue to vet it, and I will absolutely commit to you to continue those conversations. And I've tried to travel throughout the country, so whether it's Montana, whether it's West Virginia, whether it's Wyoming.
Okay, let me switch gears really quickly, because the one thing I liked about No Child Left Behind was the testing, but the problem was that we didn't do anything once we had the test done. We know it's our Native American schools in Montana. Clearly. We knew it before we went in. That's what it was going to show. But the money didn't follow the tribes, didn't go into the reservations, and now we're seeing the consolidation of those accounts within your budget proposal as well. How do you hope to address them specifically when you put them in with the African American districts and all the other districts that are identified as some of the trouble spots? Yeah,
again, our budget proposes the largest increase in spending for education ever, and so we want to put resources everywhere. And in a time when the President's level funding most other domestic spending, this is a major investment, and that's how we see it, as investment. And so there's huge unmet need around the country in every community, urban, rural, suburban, frontier, and we wanted to work as hard as we can to meet that need.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.